Ring your bell.
Ring it real loud.
Our patients have the cutest SMILEs. Our patients have the sweetest HEARTs. Oh, we love to see you every day, but now's the time we get to say bye. And hope you're back, get out the door. You don't get chemo anymore. Good job. Good job.
Well, that was earlier today. Was in a good mood. Last chemo treatment. Still got 12 more radiation treatments. But chemo's done. So my sister normally goes with me, and she's with me today. She's the one who took that video. Well, we got home, checked on my mom. My mom has vascular dementia, and her memory is real bad shape. She doesn't even remember who I am most of the time. And I'm her youngest son, and I live right next door and have for 13 years. And she forgets who I am. She remembers me when I was, what I looked like when I was younger. And seeing this gray hair throws her off, and she doesn't believe me a lot of the time when I tell her I am her son. But anyways, she's been fine, leaving her by herself overnight in the mornings up to early afternoons. And, she'd get out and go for walks and everything, but, she's, been doing fine. She's able to walk fine. She's a little slow. So we felt safe leaving her by herself, but we'd always try to come down and sit with her in the afternoon and evenings up until dark, till she gets ready to go to bed. That's why I haven't been able to work on projects and stuff. It's because we've been sitting with her. That's where I mentioned something came up that's occupying my time. It was, sitting with my mom. So, she's been doing good, but today, got home from chemo treatment, and was in a good mood. And let me turn the camera around. We parked right over there in the grass. My sister goes to the front door. Sorry about the focus. My sister goes to the front door and check on my mom. I walk over to the trash can, throw an empty bottle away. Sorry about the focus. I start walking to the front porch, and my sister comes out and says, my mom's not in there. I said, well, she's probably out walking. You go look for her. So got around the back of the house. I was looking out here in the driveway. Come around the corner, and she was laying unconscious right there on the bottom 3 steps. We have no idea how long she was there. She had blood on her arm and wrist that had run down and already dried. So she could have been there a couple hours. I mean, it scares me to think of it, but she was sitting on the bottom step halfway, and she was leaning against the second step with her back, and her head was on the 3rd step. And her legs were just kind of kicked out to each side underneath her. So she was unconscious. So I called out to her and run over to her, and she came to, was very responsive, was talking, breathing fine. She was just in pain. And I wasn't thinking. I tried to stand her up. I knew I shouldn't have, but her legs were kicked out. She said her legs were hurting. So I was going to pick her up and sit her in one of these chairs. I put one of these chairs over here. I was going to sit her in it, but I couldn't pick her up. So I eased her back down, and that's when I noticed a pool of blood right there where that black leaf is. My sister's already washed it off, but got to looking, and this piece of glass was sticking out of her upper rear thigh. And this line right here, from there, here, was sticking out. This was what was inside her upper rear thigh. As soon as I saw her, I ran to her. My sister got on the phone 911 immediately. And ambulance got here within just 3 minutes. And I kept talking to her, kept her awake, and she stayed responsive the whole time. But we didn't know what happened until got to looking around after the paramedics got here and got her took care of. We found the broken mason jar down there, an empty one. And we figure she probably come walking through here, and she went to step up on this bottom step right here. I don't think she got tangled in these vines, but I think she just kind of stepped up a little too quick and lost her balance, or she might have twisted her ankle or something a little bit. But she fell back and landed on that empty mason jar. We think she hit her head there. She said her head was hurting. But yeah, the ambulance took her to trauma emergency unit center in Huntsville. And they got her stable, did some x-rays and some scans to make sure she didn't hurt her ribs, because there was a little bit of blood on her shirt, but I couldn't tell where it come from, on her back. And she said her head was hurting, but I didn't see any blood on her head. So we're waiting on the results of the scans right now. My oldest sister went down to stay with her because they called and said she was, getting upset. She's, yelling. She doesn't know where she's at. She doesn't know anybody. She doesn't know how she got there. But that's the dementia that causes that. So my oldest sister went down there to sit with her until find out more. Because of COVID, they wouldn't let anybody ride with her in the ambulance, and they wouldn't let anybody in the emergency room to stay with her because of this new COVID variant. Their visitor rules were only one person a day, but only after if she was admitted to a room. So that's why nobody went down there with her. And they may let her come home because this COVID thing, they're only keeping their extremely high-risk patients. And if the scans come back good, she's in good shape, which they believe she is, then she'll get to come home. It's just now, since this happened, we're going to have somebody sitting with her all the time. And may have to put her in a home. We really don't want to, but I mean, that may be the only choice because I've got my radiation treatments. I can't sit with her all the time. My other sister, she can't sit with her all the time. My other sister, she can't sit with her all the time because she works. And my two brothers both live out of state. So we're going to have to figure out what's going to happen. But as of right now, she's okay. Everything's fine. So just kind of keep my mom in your thoughts and prayers. I'm doing okay. I've still got 12 more radiation treatments. But my mom is the one that needs your thoughts and prayers right now. And but I'm sure she's going to be okay. She's very responsive. She's a very strong lady. So just I'll let you guys know what's been going on. So appreciate you. Y'all take care.